Thank you. It
Here.
is the 2nd of March. Rabbi Levitt, Daniel.
Okay. Daniel. Sefer Daniel.
So I have a story to tell you. They're
Yeah.
doing construction around my apartment,
Yeah.
and so the guy who's doing the building rented me an apartment, and I moved all my stuff over to the apartment, and
Oh,
then
wow.
but we have the cleaning lady here, so um, I'm home. So I don't have the bottom line is I don't have my book here. I have it over at the apartment.
Ah.
I can't read today.
Oh boy. Okay, I'll be right back so I can start reading.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you got a replacement apartment.
Yeah, they got me an apartment that I could stay in, but I'm not sleeping there.
Oh, it's just
Um,
during the day, you mean?
I'm just going during the day. I have my computer set up over there, and I have my books over there. So I go during the day, and I do my Zoom classes, and then I come back.
Uh-huh.
So if they make noise, I'll mute myself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was at the Marcus Shiva on Thursday nights, and I saw the whole building is Mrs. Marcus says, "Yeah, just come. You'll see it. You can't miss it. It's a big black building." I said, "Black building?" He says, "Yeah, you'll. It's like the whole building is covered with these black things with all the work they're
Yeah,
doing."
I'm aware. I've been taking him to the afternoon cheer every day for over a year. So
Oh
I
yeah.
go I've been going to that building every day. Okay, excuse me a sec.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
Okay, I am back now.
Me too.
Ugh. I
Okay.
guess it was a tie.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have here?
So after this year's over, I'm gonna run over to the apartment and I'll sign back in over there.
Oh, I see. Oh, how far is it away?
It's not far. It'll probably take me about 10 minutes to walk over there.
10-minute walk. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Okay, so run down
Good
the
morning,
hill
Mayor.
now. Good morning, a Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov u'Mavorach. Zrat Hashem. Chodesh Adar.
Yeah, Adar,
Marvin
Marvin Besimcha,
Besimcha.
right? Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so looks like we got up to verse 23. Of,
Now, Zion Kafkin.
that's right. Perik Zayin Chaf Gimel, page 82. And Mayor is honored with the first pasuk.
Okay, it says Kanamar Havta Revi Aita Mahu Rivi'a'a Teve Be'ara Di Tishnei Min Kol Malchavata V'Techul Kol Ara Utedushina V'Tidkina. Okay, so it says, this is what he said. The fourth beast, there will be a fourth kingdom on the earth, which will be different from all kingdoms. It will devour the entire earth and trample and crumble it. Okay, so let's see where we're.
Oh, he is referring to the Malach.
Oh,
Right? Who's the one who's talking here? It's the Malach. Unless it was Daniel, still. No,
uh,
in 19, he said, then I desired to know the truth about the fourth beast, which was different from them all. So this is what he said. I think he is referring to the Malach.
oh, okay.
Well, I'd like to see somebody say that.
Well, we will go on and
Okay.
see.
Like the way you read it, it sounded like the beast was saying it. I was saying, oh no, that can't be.
Well, it's going to be different from all the other kingdoms, it says, but let's see what's going on. Okay, 23. It says, V'tocha kol ha'aretz, it will devour the entire earth. Wow. Interesting. Okay, it says, this explains the significance of the immense iron teeth in verse 7.
Mhm.
Okay. And then it says, Utdushina v'tadkina. Tadkina. Okay. And trample and crumble it. This is the explanation of and trampling with its feet what remained in verse 7, referring to the nations of the world. This is the Malbim. Wow.
Wow.
So I wonder why it took all these verses to to explain 7. I mean,
What's that?
well, I'm wondering why it's referring back to Pasuk 7,
Oh,
but why did it take
such a, yeah.
such a long time to make reference to it?
Yeah, so that's that's what I'm trying to figure out also. Um, this Pusik, we'll call it verse 7 on page 75, mentions that after this, I was watching in night visions. And that's referring to Daniel. He's speaking in first person.
Oh,
That's what we said before. And then he mentions this fourth beast and with the iron teeth. And it also mentions devouring and crumbling. And 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 um and so then Daniel continues to talk about different things that he notices, and then he sees, and then he and and he continues to talk. I was watching in night visions in verse 13. Clouds of heaven, one like a man came. He came up to the one of ancient days. That's referring to a Kodesh Baruch Hu, except for the Eben Ezra says it's referring to something else, a Malach. And they brought him. They brought that man before him with a capital H, and he was given dominion, honor, b'chule, b'chule. And then Daniel says he was in 15. He says he was talking in first person still. My spirit was uneasy, and I approached one of the standing ones, and I asked him for the truth concerning all this. So he spoke to me, and he said, so 17 and 18 are what the Malach told Daniel. He's explaining a little bit about the beasts. These are four kingdoms that will arise from the earth, but the holy ones will receive the kingship and they will inherit the kingship forever and ever and ever. And then in 19, it goes back to Daniel. I desire to know the truth about the fourth beast.
Oh.
And then the pasuk that you just read, 23, this is what he said. It's referring to this is what the Malach replied to Daniel.
Wow.
The pasuk doesn't say that the Malach said it, so the Art Scroll doesn't translate it that the Malach said it. So we got to figure it out for ourselves. But this is actually what the if you look in the note on verse 19, it says in the second paragraph of the notes over there, it says from here through verse 22, we have Daniel's description of the vision that he saw, that he sought an explanation from the angel, and the angel's reply is given in verses 23 to 27.
Uh-huh.
So to answer your question, Daniel kept talking and describing, and only at this point we hear what the Malach's response is about the fourth beast. So let's see what he says any more than what Daniel already described us. And so that brings us up to verse 24. And you may continue, Mayor.
Okay, so that's Kaf Daled now. Let's do this. Oh, okay. Vikar Naya Asar Mina Machuta Asra Machin Yekumun V'acharan Yekum Acharehon V'hu Yishnei Min Kadmaye Utalata Machin Yehashpil. Okay, let's see what this is. And the 10 horns from that kingdom, 10 kings will arise, and another one will rise after these, who will be different from the former ones, and he will humble 3 kings. Oh, it says quite a bit of commentary, it looks like. Okay. The Ahadran and another one. This is the small horn from Pasuk 8. Wow. Okay. The who, Ishne, who will be different. In that, he will abolish the worship of idols that had been prevalent until now. And that is the Malbim. Okay, good. Now we get to Kate's. Just going quickly back to Kaf Dalid. No, it's actually not in Kaf Dalid. Okay, well, let's read on and see what it says. It says, the Kates end Daniel's prophetic allusion to the final redemption. The word Kates, literally end, is a short word that is replete with meaning. On the surface, it would seem to refer only to the end of the exile. Its meaning, however, is far deeper, for tradition teaches that with the end of the current exile and the arrival of the Messiah will come the ultimate perfection of mankind and the attainment of the lofty spiritual goals for which God created the universe. The year of the end, as is hinted here in Daniel, is veiled and obscured to the point where it appears futile to even attempt to interpret the verse dealing with it. The end, as it appears in Pasuk 25, and again in 12:4, is doubly sealed in mystery. Not only do we not know from which point to start our calculation, but we do not even know how much time an Edon is. Is that also in, let's see, 24?
Yeah, what pasuk is he talking about here?
Because I don't see Edon in 24.
Exactly.
Wow.
Maybe it's in the next pasuk.
Yeah, well, he alludes to 25, so let's see.
Yeah, it's the end of the pasuk Kaf Hey.
Oh,
First few words in page 84.
I see it. And he translated Pelagi Don, halftime. Wow. Okay, going on. Our sages warned strongly against trying to foretell the end. Tipach atzman shel nechashvei kitzim. A curse upon those who calculate the appointed ends. That's from Sanhedrin, apparently. Indeed, Rambam is hard put to explain Rav Saadia Gaon's calculation of the end. The only justification he finds is that the Gaon's generation, there was a need to strengthen the faith in the coming of the Messiah, and so he offered a possible end in the near future. Rambam aptly points out that the end of the Egyptian exile was spelled out in Abraham's visions. They will enslave and impress them 400 years. Still, members of the tribe of Ephraim miscalculated the end, left Egypt 30 years too soon, and miscalculated the end. Left Egypt no, I read that already. Hold on. Hold it. It says, still members of the tribe of Ephraim miscalculated the end, left Egypt 30 years too soon, and were killed by the people of God. Oh, okay. They had used the date of the vision as a starting point rather than the birth of Yitzchak 30 years later. Daniel himself was enjoined by the angel, obscure the matters and seal the book. Daniel indeed transmits the end in shrouded and mysterious form. Ibn Ezra suggests that Daniel did not know the Kates. The Midrash, the Breshit Rabbah, states that two people knew the end, Yaakov and Daniel, but it was later hidden even from them. Ramban interprets a passage in Sanhedrin 97b to mean that even the Tanaim and Amoraim of the Talmud erred when they attempted to unravel the secret of the end. Well, nevertheless, interpretations to these verses and exact computations abound. Ramban in Sefer Hageulah and Ma'aneh HaYeshua justify the search for the end. The prohibition against the calculation they maintain is meant only for those who fix firm dates based on their research and are in danger of losing their faith and even of leading others astray if they are proved wrong. Indeed, the Talmud, after expressing the stringent prohibition against calculation of the dates cited above, adds an explanation. For they say that since the end came and he, the Messiah, did not come, he will not come any more. Rather, wait for him, as it has been said, if he shall be delayed, hope for him. Excuse me. Okay. Therefore, if one advances an interpretation of these verses only as a possible meaning, not as a conclusion, it is permitted. This view is not shared by Rambam in Geras Taiman, who seemingly views this as an unconditional prohibition. It seems to have been Rashi's view. After giving his explanation of a passage dealing with the end in 8:4, Rashi concludes, but we shall hope for the promise of our king to be fulfilled end after end. If the end interpreted by the commentator passes, then we will know that he erred, and whoever comes after him should search and interpret otherwise. Ramban in Sefer HaGeula suggests that the sages, being close to the destruction of the temple, knew that the redemption was still far off. Therefore, they forbade all investigation of the end so as not to discourage the people with the length of the bitter exile. This, he maintains, is no longer applicable in his times, 1,200 years into the exile.
Wow.
Yeah. At this later date, 700 years after Ramban, we must exclaim the words of the Talmud in Sanhedrin, Ba'avonotenu harabim, because of our many sins, they have passed of them. Oh no, there have passed of them the years otherwise destined for the Messianic era, what has passed. In his commentary, we will not present the many diverse calculations advanced by the various commentators, since virtually all of those dates have passed. In this, we will be the following, the lead of Rashi, who says, let's get 8:14. I have seen an interpretation in the name of Rav Sadia, but it has already passed, and Rashi omits the calculation. In order not to leave these verses without interpretation, we will bring Rashi's interpretation and reconciliation of the verses. See the overview. Wow.
Okay, so this is all a an introduction to when when the discussion about the Cates is mentioned. So apparently the Cates is going to be referred to at the end of the next pasuk Chaf Hey,
All
verse
right.
25, when it says Ad Idon v'idonin, or Plag Idon. So that's the riddle. What does that exactly mean? But there is the reference, I believe, to the case. We'll see. We'll see what we see in the next pasuk. Pasuk Chaf Hey.
Okay.
I see there's a long commentary of Rav Sadia on the next pasuk.
Okay. So let's see Kaf Hey then. Okay. Umilin litzad ilah yimalil ukadishe elyonin yivale these bar lahasnaya zimnin vidat v'yit yahavun bidei ad idan v'idanein ufalag idan. Okay, 24. He will speak words against the Supreme One, and he will exhaust the holy Supreme Ones, and he will plan to alter the seasons and the law, and they will be given over into his hand until a time and times and half a time. Huh.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so 25. Let's see what he says here. He says, Ad idan idanin uflag idan, until a time and times and half a time. The end is sealed. No, the end is a sealed end, as it was said to Daniel, obscure the matters and seal. That's coming up, I guess, in 12:4. The early sages interpreted this verse, each according to his understanding, but their kitsim ends have already passed. There is yet another way to interpret this in the manner which I have seen written in the name of Rav Sadia. Rashi explains that the idanin uflag idan, times and half a time, is an elaboration of ad idan, until a time. Thus, until a time, which is two times, the plural form indicates at least two, and half that time, the vav, the idanin, is superfluous. That's a mitsudo. The two times are the two clearly known periods of the pre-Babylonian Jewish history. The 480 years from the Exodus until the building of the first temple, from Kings 1, is the first period. The 410 years, the 410 years that the first temple stood in Yoma is the second period, giving us a total of 890 years. Half that time is 445 years. Adding to this, adding this to 890, we get a total of 1,335 years. This corresponds exactly to the years until the end in 1212.
Ooh.
This is very mystical, I think.
Oh, so that's a good piece of information to know. There was 480 years from the Exodus until the building of the first Beis Hamikdash.
Mhm.
480 years. So that, and really, if you take off 40 years that they were not in Eretz Israel, they were still in the Midbar. So it's 480 minus 40 is 440. So it was 440 years that Klal Yisrael came into Eretz Yisrael, but they did not yet build the Beis Hamikdash. That's the first period. Then the next period is the 410 that the first temple stood. That brings us up to 890. And then half that time is 445. So add to this another 890, and we get a total of 1335.
Wow.
And that corresponds exactly to the years until the end.
Uh-huh. Okay. Wow.
Hmm. Oh, but like Rashi says, the um okay, so that's what Rashi said. That's what Rashi said. Um Rashi was explaining this verse.
Right.
Okay. 1335 from when though? Don't know. Yeah, it's not so clear. Okay, fine. So all we know is it hasn't come yet. That's what we know.
Mhm. Right.
But we have to take from these psukim and Daniel that that was what he saw though, that the time will come. Time will come. And that's what we're going to see in the next pasuk. We have time?
Uh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is Kaf Vav now. It says V'dina yitiv v'shaltanei yahadon l'hashmada l'hovada ad sofa. The judgment will be set, and they will take away his dominion to be annihilated and to be destroyed completely. Wow. Okay. So it says Shaltane Yahadun, and they will take away his dominion. This is the interpretation of
Hmm. Okay. So that's 26. And the Seder. Okay. One more pasuk. 27. We got time for that? Mayor's working hard today. Oh, Mayor, you're muted. Sorry.
How that happen? Okay. Let's start over then. Kaf Zion. Umachuta vishaltana uravuta di malachava malachvat yehot kol shemaya dehaivat la'am kadishe elyonin umahute mahut alam v'chol shaltanaya le yiflehun v'ishtam un. Wow. Okay, so 27. And the kingship, the dominion, and the grandeur of the kingdoms under all the heavens will be given to the holy supreme nation. Its kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all rulers will serve and obey it.
Wow.
It says Umahuta, and the kingship. This is an explanation of he was given dominion in Pasuk 14.
He was given dominion. He was given dominion. Well, that was the story about I was watching in the night visions and with the clouds of heaven, one like a man came, and he came up to the one of ancient days, and they brought him before him, and that man was given dominion. We said that man is referring to Mashiach.
Very interesting. Wow.
So, okay, so what do they say in this note? This is the explanation of he was given dominion. That's what this pasuk is describing. What does it mean, dominion? That his kingdom will be everlasting kingdom, and all rulers will serve and obey it. Okay, Bezrat Hashem. Looking forward. Okay, everybody, have a great day, Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much.
Shavua Tov, Yashikoyach for all the reading.
Okay,
See you
so we got
soon, Im Yitzhak Hashem.
the
Yetz Hashem, okay.